those responsible will be brought to justice.
DNA testing has confirmed that the man driving the Hyundai i20 car involved in the blast near Red Fort in Delhi was Dr. Umar Nabi. This after samples from his mother were matched with the remains recovered from the site. Although an official confirmation is awaited in the matter, a Red Ford EcoSport registered in the name of Dr. Umar was found parked outside a house near Kandavali village in Faridabad. This was on Wednesday. This hours after Delhi police issued an alert and shared details of the car with the Uttar Pradesh and Haryana police. The Delhi registered vehicle was recovered and examined by the National Security Guard bomb disposal team, accompanied by a sniffer dog. In fact, the police said the area within a 200-meter radius was cordoned off. Over 10 nearby houses were evacuated as a precaution. The search for the car began after investigation into the blast revealed that another car, in addition to the Hyundai i20, was involved in the blast. Police believe the EcoSport was used for reconnaissance before the blast. In fact, new CCTV footage captures the exact moment the Hyundai i20 car exploded. Video showing the car erupting into flames in rush hour traffic, damaging nearby vehicles and buildings. In fact, sources said that before the car blast on Monday evening, Umar stayed at a mosque on Asif Ali Road near Ramlila Maidan. After leaving the mosque, the accused went straight to the Suneri Masjid parking lot. He parked his car in the parking lot at around 3:19 p.m. and left 3 hours later, minutes before the blast. The Union Cabinet on Wednesday passed a resolution calling the blast a terror incident. The resolution was passed shortly after a meeting chaired by Prime Minister Modi. It called the explosion a heinous terror incident perpetrated by anti-national forces. The US has offered to help India with the probe. The US Secretary of State, commenting on India's resolution, said it was clearly a terror incident, lauding the country's professionalism in handling the investigation. Rubio said the US has offered to help, but India is doing a good job and does not need its help. And with us on the broadcast this minute is former Director General, Defense Intelligence Agency and former Deputy Chief of Integrated Defense Staff. Thanks very much for being here on the broadcast, sir. I have to begin by asking you for your assessment of where things stand at this point.
Good evening, ma'am, and good evening to your viewers. Faridabad terror module busting and near the Red Fort with the car explosion which happened. They are part of the same network, probably the Jaish-e-Mohammed network, which originated from, which has links in Kashmir and, of course, Faridabad. The explosive, the quantity of explosives, the detonators and the remote control units, which were recovered by the intelligence and the security agencies, it reveals that it was not a one-off incident or it was not a one-off module. This module probably was in planning to carry out serial blasts because the number of detonators and remote control units suggest that they were wanting to make 20-odd bombs, which could have been, exploded simultaneously at different locations. So it's a very good action by the intelligence agencies and the police forces. And the blast which happened at Red Fort, that is unfortunate. Even that could have been avoided in case the security agencies had carried out a little more in-depth thing and nabbed this doctor before he could do that. But notwithstanding, a major incident has been averted. And today, there is a need to remain alert for every citizen, the need to remain aware of the surroundings, and especially the people who are giving their property for rent need to ensure that the tenant uses it for the rightful purpose and is not using it for any activity like hiding the explosives or terror activities. the tenant needs to be kept under surveillance. And in case of any doubt, please approach the police. And before you rent out a property, make sure the verification of the tenant is carried out by the police. So as of now, the investigating agencies are doing the job. And I'm very sure very soon they'll come out with the further details.
I also have to ask you for your comments on the emergence of Al Falah University at the center of this probe. We are talking about a university campus. We're talking about the involvement of a lecturer. We're talking about the involvement of doctors as far as the investigation is concerned as well. Your comments on that and the very fact that we're also looking at a pan-India suicide squad perhaps that was also being planned.
This university, Al Falah University, as per the available media reports and reports in the open domain, was the central place for coordinating this complete terror module, which carried out the Red Fort blast and the Faridabad recoveries. Such universities, or in the name of such universities, all the terror activities and anti-national activities which are going on need to be brought further. The linkages of such organizations or such institutions will definitely be with the foreign agencies who want destabilization within India. So I'm very sure the intelligence agencies are looking into it. The Enforcement Directorate is looking into the funding of such universities. And I read somewhere in the open media, I'm not sure whether it's true or not, a particular doctor who was in 2023 was dismissed by the J&K government for his links with the terrorists, was also a professor in this university. Now this needs verification if such like characters who have been removed by the government from a particular state are being given employment by these universities. Such actions, if true, need to be investigated and their funding needs to be investigated. Such institutions are becoming breeding ground for terrorists and they need to be kept under surveillance and checked. And in case it is proved that they were definitely indulging in such terror activities and anti-national activities, their license needs to be cancelled and all responsible for it needs to be put behind bars after thorough investigation and a proper judicial case.
What do you also make of what has emerged so far when it comes to the investigation and the involvement of what was happening as far as a pan-India arrangement is concerned? Of course, also talking about the fact that the US, for example, has lauded India's measured probe. India has gone ahead and called this a terror incident. If you can just help our viewers understand what goes on behind the scenes procedurally here onwards.
See, so far, the investigating agencies and the police forces have done a wonderful job. The National Investigating Agency, NIA, is now handling the case. Initially, I personally believe, the police forces who carried out this seizure in Faridabad and apprehended few people, I think that was not a very professional way of going to the press and the media and announcing the names and the seizure quantities prematurely. Before all the people involved in the module were arrested and all the explosive which was there in addition to what was seized could be captured. Now this premature going to the press and claiming victory alerted this doctor who was carrying the explosive in the car, and because of what the car bomb happened in the Red Fort area. If this premature announcement of names and explosive details were not given and all the जिसको कहते हैं leads, all the leads were acted upon secretly, and even this doctor could have been nabbed well in time before he could explode this car. So that having been said, that local police making this initial mistake, in spite of a wonderful action of apprehending these people and busting this module, this slight mistake led to the blast in Red Fort area. Now here afterwards, the investigation is now being handled by the professionals, that is the National Investigating Agency, NIA, and the forensics and enforcement director and others. Here onwards, I am very sure all the leads, all the technical intelligence, the social media intelligence, the human intelligence, the signal intelligence, and all the interrogation reports which are coming of the people who have been apprehended are being acted upon. And I'm very sure either they have already apprehended everyone who was in the environment, or they will do it very soon. But notwithstanding, as citizens, we need to be very alert that our surrounding area, we need to be suspicious of everything, respect everyone, suspect everyone. That should be the mantra for every citizen of whatever activity is going around
Right.
in their neighborhood or in their environment.
All right, we're leaving it there for the moment. Thanks very much for being here with us.